Welcome to A Quest for Metal. Today we are doing the mighty Gorgoroth, ranking their albums from my least favourite to my favourite. Now this is a black metal band, obviously, and we're doing nothing but black metal November. So all throughout November we're doing some black metal content. I've already done my top 50 black metal albums of all time, so go check that out if you haven't. And we're going to rank some more bands just like we are here. Now this is your guys' pick. I put a list of loads of bands on the community post. You guys wanted me to talk about Gorgoroth, which I've never actually talked about on the channel before. So this will be new and fresh. I don't think I've mentioned them fucking at all. This is the first time I'm ever mentioning them on the channel. So I'll let you know what my favourite albums are and what my least favourite album is. But before I do, it's a ranking, so pop yours down below. What's your least favourite? What's your favourite? Rank them and let's get fucking started. So coming in at last place is Instictus Bestialis. They have a lot of funny names, which we'll try and pronounce. Probably not pronounce that one right, but this is the latest one by Gorgoroth. And you'll notice throughout the discography, the vocalists, the guitarist, the bassist, everyone changes constantly. This is a band in turmoil. They're always changing members all the goddamn time, and some people have the preferences on what they prefer. Vocal style and even guitar style and drum style. For me, I do enjoy this album quite a bit, but it definitely doesn't sound like a Gorgoroth album. This is one of those albums in the discography that does not sound anything like any of their other albums. This is more in line with a Behemoth or a Belphegor. This is a lot more death metal than black metal on this album. It's a lot more black and death, I should say. I enjoy that though. I got nothing wrong with some black and death, so I can enjoy this album. It just doesn't sound anything like the other albums. I mean, it's the only one with, I forgot his name, I've wrote it down here, Atterringer? Is that Atterrigner, sorry. And he's good for that kind of gruff, growly voice for black and death, but when I've just listened to all the other albums, I get to this one, it's just a bit of a kind of a huh, that's weird. It's not bad, it's just weird. So again, if you like a black and death metal, if you like stuff like Behemoth and Belphegor, even, Dark Funeral, I know that's not black and death, but it's more in line with that than, say, earlier Gorgoroth, which is kind of more raw and more like proper Norwegian black metal, but this is just, it's good. It's fine, but it is my least favourite in their catalogue. Twilight of the Idols is next, and this is a fine album as well. It's kind of a punchy album, but it's a bit less memorable than, say, Insipid with Satan, or Satan. I think the vocals do have a better edge on this album in particular. Garl does sound a lot better on this album, but I just think the tracks are a lot less memorable on this album, so it is coming down on the list. Although Exit Through Carved Stones is a fantastic fucking song. Say what you want about Garl, vocal-wise or anything, but he does have a very creepy sound to him with his delivery, and this album is very weird. And he has that weird factor about him, and it kind of works in his favour to make the albums kinda unique, But for me, I am on the kind of pest hat side of things. Not to say that Garl doesn't have any great albums, because this one's a good one. Not quite a great one, but it is a good one. But there are some others he's on which are just miles better. This is just kind of insignificant. It's okay. I don't hate it. It's not a complete, whoa, what the fuck is that? Like the Black and Death one. It's just pretty okay. It's an okay album. I'll return to it. It's good. It's just nothing like any of the other ones they've done. Insipid Satan is next. This is another one with Garl on vocals, and people have preference, like I said. This one's a lot more interesting and a lot more catchy. The vocals are a bit weirder on this one than they are on the one I just mentioned, but it makes it all the more stand out. There's weird industrial flares in some of the songs. It's a lot more experimental. Whenever Garl came in, it just kind of shook the band up because the songwriting and just the experimentation just went up a level. For better or worse, whatever you say, but at least it's memorable. At least this album's fucking memorable, as opposed to the other one, which is just pretty good. There's a lot more melody on this one, reminding me of, say, Immortal. Some of the tracks do remind me of Immortal in this one. And there's even a kind of Iron Maiden vibe I get with some of the melodies, There's a song in particular that has a very Iron Maiden melody in. I'm pretty sure it's A World to Win. Correct me if I'm wrong, but go re-listen to that song and there's definitely some new wave British heavy metal influences there. A lot more melodic, a lot more experimental. I think the album's just better overall, so I'm putting it a bit higher. Next up, I gotta read this one. Ad Majoram Satanas Gloriam. Ho ho ho. You got Frost back. The drums are fucking insane. The bass is insane. The guitar. Yeah, this is easily one of Garl's best albums. Holy shit. I know Metal Trenches loves this one. He had this in S tier, and it's a bloody great album. It is. I know he likes his more experimental stuff than the true cult stuff. I can see why. This album is just fucking amazing. The guitar, especially on this album, really stands out. The guitar and drums stand out massively on this album. The vocals are shit. I think this is his worst vocal performance, in my opinion. It's very low in the mix. It just sounds not that good. Some of the songs, though, where he doesn't really scream, it's kind of more chanty song, like Sign of an Open Eye. Come on. That's amazing. That's amazing. And it has loads of classic-y songs on this one, like the aforementioned Sign of an Open Eye, Carving a Giant as well. So it has some big standout hits, and I do like when he's, not screaming, when he's doing the more chanty stuff, and it works in his favour. This is easily the best album with him on vocals, first and foremost. He's on another album on like one track later on, but we'll get to that. So very experimental, very cool, very punchy, not too big a fan of the vocals, but everything else is just fan-fucking-tastic. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this album, so it's coming up pretty high. Next up, the one I was talking about, Destroyer. This is a ridiculous album, and it's not like Kiss's Destroyer, it's completely different to that. This has so many different vocalists on. Infernus, Garl, Pest. I mean, the variety is just stupidly insane. That's what I love about this album. The variety between songs is mental. You got a song with Garl on, you got one with Infernus on, you got one with Pest on. It's ridiculous. You get more bang for your buck. If you're bored of one vocalist, you got another one next. And that's what I liked about this one, the variety, and it's also fucking insane. It starts off just ridiculous. The screams howling like some mental patients trying to escape. That's how this album starts, and it's goddamn, golly ridiculous. Open the gates. The gates are open wide. Love that song. Love that song. This album, from here on out, these albums are amazing. Those ones I enjoyed a lot. Even The Last Place, I enjoyed a lot. These ones are fucking fantastic, and I'll keep returning to these ones. Starting with Destroyer, very underrated. Not many people talk about it. I think it's a great album in their catalogue, and I'll return to it all the time. The Destroyer is amazing. Number 4 now, Under the Sign of Hell. This is when we get to the, some of the classic stuff. Under the Sign of Hell, another one Metal Trenches put at S tier. This is great. Aside from the intro drumming, which is the first song on the album, starts off really cool, but then it gets to the drum beat and the snare, and it sounds like just the Tin Man fucking his wife. Or, a broken washing machine. It's great, and it's like ding, 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 ding. And it's like, what? Who brought this fucking St. Angus snare guy here? Aside from that one song, the drums kind of mellow out. After that one song, the drums mellow out, and the drums are great throughout the rest of the album, in my opinion. It's just that one song that's really, really in your face, that fucking intro. But it's entertaining, and that's why I got it higher. This is a classic album. All these songs fucking slap. The vocals on here, creepy. Pest's vocals are like some of the best in the game. Holy shit. Demonic as anything. This is like a really chaotic album. Craig, insane. That song kind of reminds me of Now Nafrak, which is ridiculous to think of, and it really does. How insane that fucking song is. Funeral Procession is a classic as well. That's a beautiful song. The album kind of mellows out near the middle, and I enjoy that. So it has its ups and downs. It has the crazy songs, the more mellow songs, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's in most people's top 3 for good reason. It's one of the best. For me, it's coming 4, and we'll see why in a bit. Pentagram is next. The debut, and this is thrashy, raw, fast, to the point, and has Hat on vocals. And Hat's a bloody legend. His screaming, his shrieking on the debut is terrifying. It's fucking terrifying. I'm not even going to try and replicate it, but it's like a demon speaking to you. Fucking adore his vocals. This is the most rawest, the most brutal, the most heaviest, the fastest, just the most classic black metal album you could possibly get. Straight to the point, straight to the fucking jugular. It's a great album. If you want to start with Gorgoroth, I'd suggest this album because it just punches you in the gut and doesn't stop until you're throwing up blood. Black blood, because this is black metal, not death metal. Great album. Nothing much I can say about this one. It's fucking good. Uh-oh, top 2 now. This one's a bit of a shock, and I always need to read it because it's weird. Quantus possunt ad sanitatum trahant? Definitely said that wrong. This is a newer album? What the fuck is this doing at number 2? Holy shit. Well, let me tell you why. This has Pest on vocals, and we know Pest is a fucking genius vocalist. And oh boy is he, because he sounds like Gollum on this one. Really sounds like Gollum. When someone's stolen Gollum's ring, it just sounds otherworldly, and Pest is just the best. Pest, it rhymes with the best, because it's true. It has a lot more slower songs on this one, a lot more atmospheric. There is some fast ones as well, but most of the album is very just moody and atmospheric. And that's, you know me, I love my funeral doom, I love my death doom. So moody and atmospheric, hell yes. With those crazy vocals by Pest, match made in heaven. Match made in fucking heaven. This almost was number 1. This has been number 1 for a long time. But revisiting to everything, as much as I love this album, as much as this album's amazing, and I'd suggest this one, another one, listening to first, I gotta give it to Antichrist for number 1. Antichrist is number 1 because it blends the two together. It blends the rawness, the craziness of the debut, with also the more atmospheric parts of Quantus, mix them together into this perfect album. It has longer songs, it has some loads of atmospheric parts, like the rain coming down, the bells on the final song. Oh my god, how good is that? It even goes full circle, and at the end it has the rain and the bells as well. So goddamn good. It has some short, fast, punchy songs as well, and it has Hatton vocals. And Hat's a madman. Come on, he's a fucking madman. Him and Pest, hard to be beat. Vocals are on point. It has that raw atmosphere as well, but it's more melancholic and more atmospheric. So, you know, what can I say? It's the best. Antichrist is the best. It blends the best of both worlds. Don't want to start singing Miley Cyrus here, but it's the best of both worlds. Yeah, it's good. It's easily my favourite Gorgoroth album, and, well, I say easily, the top 3, pretty interchangeable, but at the moment, Antichrist is my number 1. So, let me know down below what's your favourite Gorgoroth album. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Who's your favourite vocalist? Let me know down below, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.